All right, guys. Dan here with Dig Into the Outdoors and Outdoor Industry Promotions. I'm doing a small video today to explain how to process your own deer in just kind of a quick way as possible. I have a deer here that got hit in front of my house last night, and the guy who hit it actually knows me on Facebook, and he gave it to me. So I got a perfect deer that I can show you guys. I should have started earlier, but I have it skinned down already, and when I skinned it down, I cut the legs off. I cut all the way up the fur of the neck. I cut around the base all the way around the neck, and you can pull the skin down. And then I made some fur cuts all the way up in here to the inside to the outside. Pulled the skin down, cut as I was going down, and got the deer pretty much skinned. So what I'm going to show you next is where to cut to get your quarters off, your back straps, any flange meat or anything like that. So
hi guys.
On this other side, I started on the other side right here. This is a fat storage place for a deer, and if you guys can see, there is a lot of fat on the Michigan deer this year. It's 2020. They will be going through a rough winter. So when you get your deer, you're going to find a lot of fat on your deer. So when I do the back straps, I make a cut here, which I've already made, one on each side of the spine all the way down through as far as I can, and there's like a membrane here that you got to peel off to get to the back strap. But in order to really get to the back strap, right here is the shoulder blade. The back strap is underneath the shoulder blade. So we're going to take off, get down from there. We're going to take off the front quarters first, and we're going to do that by opening this up right here underneath the armpit. That's a membrane too right there, and there's an empty cavity in there. So once you cut through there, this front quarter is just going to lift right up and fold back, and you just cut it around and pull the quarters off.
Hi guys.
Put them on a tray. There's my hunting buddy. And then you have full access to your back straps. Your back straps is just one big strip of meat that goes right down the spine. And you cut straight in up against the wall of the spine, and then you'll have another wall that's this way that you'll have to cut down, and the whole back strap will come down to right about here. And there's two bones right there in the rear quarters. Now, when you get to the rear quarters, you take your knife, and all this is gonna come off. You're gonna take all this off, and this is gonna be here, and you can just cut back down. You'll start feeling the bone, and you cut all the meat off the pelvic, and then you have your two rear quarters. Then you have all your scrap meats that are on the deer, the flanges and muscles, like this piece here. Big chunk of meat right here that I use. I can either stew it or use it for burger. A lot of the deer can be used for burger. That's what you get your burger from. So just a little tutorial on how I process my deer, and some ideas on how you guys do it. So you cape it, you front shoulder it, you back strap it, and you rear quarter it. That way you get all the big major pieces off first, and then you can pick at the deer carcass and get all the extra meat off there, throw it in a bowl, so that way you have grinder meat. A lot of people like to have a neck roast. So when you get everything off, you could skin the neck up a little bit farther up here and cut it at the joint and up here, and you can take the whole esophagus and stuff out, and you have a big neck roast where the neck is inside it, but the meat is around it, and you throw it in a roaster, and all the meat will fall off of it. That's where you get your neck roast from, and you can take the bone out. So just a little tutorial on basics on pretty much processing a deer. So that way you could do it yourself and not have to pay $65 to $100 at a processor and not know what you're getting back. This way you know everything that you're getting back from the deer that you harvested or got from a road salvage or gifted to you or anything like that. So a lot of this fat is going to be real thick. I'm going to cut it off as much as I can. I'm going to peel all this back here and take off as much as I can. And you can really see it real good. There's your back strap right there, which is going to be really nice. So I hope that helped you guys out, and maybe you guys can start processing your own meat. A lot of the animals are the same. You can have the same body functions, so that way quarters, back straps, and then your rear quarter, neck roast. If you want to keep the ribs, leave the flange meat. There's a whole bunch of flange meat underneath here. If you take all that off on the ribs, you're going to have like this much meat on your rib, and you want more meat than that on your ribs. So just get the fat off, cut the ribs off with all the flange meat attached. That way it's actually worthy of having deer ribs. Have a good day. Be safe. Know your target and what's beyond. See ya.